Design 2 final exam, you have been hired to design and develop a website for an existing restaurant. The following are just some ideas for restaurants. You do not have to select from this list. This is just to give you some ideas. So some different categories of restaurants would include fast food restaurants, fast casual, buffet, family restaurants, or bar restaurant types. After you've selected your restaurant, you need to see me for approval because each person must select a unique restaurant. The restaurants are assigned on a first come, first served basis, so only one student per restaurant. Make sure you choose a restaurant that already exists. You're not making up a restaurant. Make sure it's a restaurant you like, that you're interested in, and that you've visited their current website for page ideas. Make sure that it's a restaurant where you can find pictures and information related to the restaurant, since you are going to be recreating and you need some real pictures and information that you can use. So you should be able to check yes to each of these boxes and make sure that you have a restaurant that meets all these criteria. All right, once you've chosen a restaurant, you're going to start on part 2. Part 2 is where I'm going to start doing the step-by-steps with you just to get you started. The restaurant that I'm going to use in the example is IHOP. You are not using IHOP necessarily. That's just going to be the example that I use. So now I'm ready to go into Dreamweaver. Once you're in Dreamweaver, you are going to create a new Dreamweaver site. So under Create New, I'm going to select Dreamweaver Site. You're going to give the website the name of your restaurant. In my case, that's IHOP. In your case, it is something different. And then find a location for saving. So here's where you will save. You will click Browse for Folder. Go into your personal drive, your drive with your name. Then go into your Web Design 2 folder. Open up Web Design 2 and then create a new folder. You need to call that new folder the restaurant name. So I'm going to call my folder IHOP. I'm going to open up that folder, hit select, and then save. You should notice a new site pop up on your right under local files. Okay, now the next step will be to create a new template. Under Create New, select More. You want to create a blank template, HTML, no layout, and doc type HTML5. Now create. You're going to give the title the restaurant name. So again, I'm going to call mine IHOP. And then I'm going to go to File, Save as Template. It's important that you save it as a template. You want to give the template a name. I'm going to call it IHOP Template. And you should call it your restaurant name and then template. Now click Save. That will create a folder with a template inside. The next step is to start creating your web page. So I'm going to click on my blank screen. And I need to make a container. The container is going to hold all your other elements of your web page. So in the directions, what it says to do is go to the Common tab and then Insert Div Tag. You need to create your first container. So you're going to give it the class name Container. Now you want to make a new CSS rule. You need to change the rule definition to a new style sheet file and then hit OK. At this point, you need to click on Create New Folder. Call your new folder CSS for Cascading Style Sheet. Open it up. And in the folder, we're going to give this a file name of whatever your restaurant name is. So mine is IHOP.css. Yours will be Then you need to start defining the rules for your container. I am going to just make a requirement that for your container, the box width should be 1,000. So you go to box width, make it 1,000. Let's make our right margin auto and our left margin auto. Then click apply and OK. Now click OK again. And this is where your website is going to go. So the next step would be to backspace and get rid of this generic placeholder text. Your container will get very small. That's okay. You're going to go to insert div tag again. We want a new tag called header. Create a new style rule. It should say .header in the IHOP CSS. Click OK. And now you're ready to start defining how your header is going to look. You're going to continue creating rule definitions for a header, a navigation bar, a content area, and a footer. You need to make sure you include properties such as background colors, blocks, boxes, borders. Play around with it and have fun. At this point, you are on your own. I would recommend using pages 127, 131, and 135 to 136 for some ideas about how you can create rules. And you should be referring to your instructions at this point. I'll open that up to show you. You should be referring to your final exam instructions, your checklist. Okay, so far I've completed with you part 2, and we have done the following steps. Let's see, I just need to find a little check mark. You know what, I'm just going to put an X. Okay, at this point we have done together this step, this step, this step, this step. Here we created a box with a width of 1,000, and now you are right here. You're going to start adding rules and refer to the following pages for rule definition examples. You will continue through your checklist. If you have any questions, you can see me, and please show me when you are done with the template. After you're done with the template, you're going to follow the last step, which is to save that page as a home page. And I'll make sure you've done that right. Okay, have fun, and I'll be back to show you part 3 later.